Hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Well, they're working up in my cabin and I am in the big house again today, which is not a problem. It's a good place for me to work from. Gives me more backgrounds. I'm going to try to do as many videos in this house as I can in the next 4 weeks before I leave, which is actually 4 weeks from today. Pretty day outside. Just wanted to go ahead and get a video done early. So I want to talk about raw vegan weight loss today, and I'm going to talk about it from a different perspective. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I do videos like this every day, so I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now, click on the little bell, and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. The video I'm going to do today, I will pretty much tell you, is guaranteed, and the information is going to go in one ear and out the other for most people. And the reason I say that is because when it comes to weight loss, people just want, I think we've just been so deeply conditioned. I mean, if you think back in your life, you know, maybe before you were aware of this lifestyle, if you've ever tried to lose weight before, all the diets, all the books, people have that mindset of it has to be restricting, it has to be a set program, there has to be steps, and you have to combine, and you have to do this just the right way. And there's always a program behind it. You know, how many have we had? The Atkins diet, the Scarsdale diet, the South Beach diet. There's diets out there, so people have that mindset that to lose the weight, they have to do like they've always done, even though intellectually a lot of them will admit to you that that doesn't work. It's almost like there's something that's just conditioned that that's your go-to when you're trying to lose weight. I've talked about this a little bit before, and I'm not, I just wanted to expand on it today from this perspective and not have it be part of a video. Like I say, this isn't about any specific method for losing weight. This isn't any little tips or tricks like, okay, try this, tweak this out of your diet, do this, add this in, blah, blah, blah. This is more about the process. And it's a different approach than most people have probably thought of before. And you got to get into a different mindset to do this. Now, before I begin, I've mentioned this before, and I do understand the psychology of it, but sometimes that's where we make our biggest improvements in life, is breaking through our own psychology. Listen, it's easy for me. I'm at my weight, or actually I'm trying to gain a little bit weight, so I'm not trying to lose weight. So I'm not dealing with being overweight every day. I'm not dealing with being obese or morbidly obese. So it's easy, you know, for somebody to tell from the outside to tell other people how to think or this is what you should do. You know, I can understand that. Like when people are overweight, and I've been overweight before, you're anxious. You just want to get it off, and you kind of get into this almost desperate mindset, or a lot of people do, and you'll try everything. You'll try anything and everything, but what I think is the biggest downfall of this type of thinking is just that you're jumping. You're always jumping. In other words, you're so impatient. You don't necessarily give things a time to work because you're focused on that one thing, weight loss. I mean, I see it all the time. And you know what? Like I say, I do understand that psychology, but it's people that are doing the opposite of what I'm going to talk about today. It's just about weight loss above everything else. I mean, come on, if you're a little bit older, you remember they're probably off the shelf now. The diet pills, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, don't know when they got pulled off the shelf. I mean, they were just basically low-grade speed. So, you know, we've come to want things quickly. We've come to want things rapidly like that. But it's all about the approach. And if we will change the approach a little bit when it comes to weight loss, everything's going to be better when you get to that goal weight anyway. I was talking with somebody the other day, and I forgot who it was. I can't remember if it was a comment on my channel or if it was a comment on something on Instagram. And they told me, I can't remember the amount of weight, but they had lost a certain amount of weight since March. And I want to say it wasn't one of those things. To me, it was impressive. If they told you that, you would be like, yeah, okay, that's so. To me, it was impressive because it was, if I remember correctly, it was roughly at a rate of 2 pounds a week. So when people do the weight loss thing in the correct way and do it, you know, as a part of getting healthy, when you get there, you're going to be a healthier, fitter person at your goal weight. You're not going to have, you know, the way you do it is important, because, you know, you've seen people that have just dropped a ton of weight in a really short period of time and not in a really healthy way. And yeah, if they've got their clothes, you know, but they're all loose. They don't have any tightness, any tone. They generally deal with skin issues, whatever. And then they've done it in such an approach that it doesn't last for long, because you can't do these radical diets. They're not like, you know, see, the way I eat and the way a lot of people eat can be sustained day in, day out, because I learned a new way of eating. I learned a new way of, you know, of just having health every day. I mean, you know, sometimes when you do a channel like this, I'm very analytical of myself. I'm like, man, you're just kind of going off a lot on, and you're getting so excited about, you know, food and stuff. But I mean, it's really nice. I mean, you know, sometimes I step back and I say, okay, maybe you're just focusing. And other people will say that, and it'll get into my head for a minute. Oh, you focus on food all the time. And then I start thinking like, okay, dude, maybe this is like you're just a little, you know, you're always talking about food. But then again, I do a channel. So you got to remember that. It's not so much I'm focused on food so much in my personal life. It's just trying to come up with better content to share with people, to just get people to a healthier place. But then I'm like, no, it's worth it, because then I start really thinking about, you know, my life now, and little things that I take for granted for like a second, and then I don't want to. I take for granted the fact that I feel good every day. You know, I don't have these little sniffles. I don't have these, I'm not constantly, you know, bombarded, or even like if it's not being sick, I'm not bombarded. I don't constantly have some sort of digestive issue, which, even though my digestion was good, I mean, you got things back in the day, you know, you didn't eat something right, you didn't combine it right, you're eating animal products, you get heartburn, you get indigestion, your stomach's just a little queasy, whatever. I don't get that anymore. I feel good every day. So then when I start thinking about that, I'm like, no, it's really not that much. Or people that talk about, well, I have a busy life, this isn't practical. Well, you got to decide what's practical for you, but for me, feeling my top every day is practical, because that's when I'm going to be at my most efficient. I don't have to take, you know, yeah, I do my own thing and I'm online, but, you know, people out there talking their talk, but they have to take sick days and they're not efficient, and they eat their garbage at lunch and they're not efficient after lunch. So it's also an efficiency thing. But yeah, if you will just approach this weight loss thing, health, health, health. I know it's tough. I know it's tough. You might even have to do like a subliminal suggestion, like hypnotism, meditate on it, but you have to get out of your head just the focus on weight loss, always talking about weight loss. And there's a way to change it. Stop talking about weight loss. In the groups you're in, stop doing that. Change your mindset in all ways. Instead of going back constantly, you know, more weight loss, I'm trying to lose weight, I'm trying to lose weight. Change your post online. Start talking about being healthy. If you will search out, if you will put the time in to kind of adjust and, you know, go through the stages, transition right, and really tune in, if you get healthy, your body will find its right weight. It will find its right weight. And people will say, well, yeah, but somebody's over. No, no, no. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. When you find that level for you, when you find that way of eating, and yeah, calories do count. I'm not trying to get into any of this mystical alchemy that some, you know, food people do out there, but you're going to find, by just kind of, you know, seeking the health, you're going to see, you know, and you'll tune into that. That's what I did anyway. Like I say, I had, I probably, when I started losing weight, I probably had about, now I lost too much weight, I didn't know what I was doing. I probably realistically only had about 30 pounds to lose. And I dropped more than that. But the point being is that it just dropped. You know, it just dropped because I had no thoughts about, even though I knew physically and I had taken photos before photos, I knew that it was about the health. And I said, you know what, screw it. And I didn't even really pay much attention in the mirror. I wasn't like looking at myself every day going, oh man, am I losing, am I gaining? I totally took that out of the equation. Totally took it out of the equation and focused on my health. Now, as far as the amounts go, after a while, yeah, you started, you know, then you can start taking a little feedback from your mirror. You're like, you see with how much you're eating now, how much you're eating. But if you will seek this path and if you will just try to get healthier, if you seek the ultimate form of health, your weight will find where it is supposed to be. And some people, maybe some people sometimes are trying to fight. Now I'm not talking about, giving up or anything, but sometimes people have certain body types and you're not going to change your body type, or you're not going to do things past a certain point. So we do work within some constrictions, but overall, if you seek the health, your body's going to find its best version of itself. You may not look like a model on the cover of a magazine, or you may not look, all buff and whatever, but you're going to look healthy. And to me, healthy is attractive. Sometimes I talk with people, and people have their hang-ups these days. This is I guess with the internet and all the information we have, people have lots of hang-ups these days. And sometimes you get the crowd that you can't even really talk about appearance or how something looks. That's just not, part of the cool way of doing it. But when I give somebody a compliment, or when I'm talking and referring to somebody and say, that's a good-looking woman over there, or even a guy, he's a good-looking, fit guy, I'm not looking at those things like you look at on a cover, like, wow, like TNA, or man, she got like popping curves or whatever. I look at fit bodies. I look at a body that I'm like, that is an efficient body. It can carry itself. It can sustain itself. They can probably go for a long time. I look at those things, you look at arms and legs. They don't necessarily have to be big or whatever, but it's like, oh, this person moves. They move their body. They're fit. And to me, that's attractive. Health is attractive. It's not beyond what the health brings, like the slimmer body or whatever, but just that general overall picture of health is attractive. So anyhow, like I say, this one today, I don't know how many people will watch it, how many people will stick with it, but this is I guarantee you, and just think about it. Have you been successful before with the diet approach, or with that mentality of like, always on the weight, weighing all the food, weighing in every day or every week? No. So if it hasn't worked before, change up your approach a little bit and focus on the health. I promise you, if you focus on the health and you actually do the work and you actually get to where you should be eating, the weight will work itself out. Promise. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you again tomorrow. Peace.